Well, welcome to another episode of the DMZ. Now, I'm building on 3 levels, and sometimes that's what happens. I can tell you the problem, and the problem may be you're rescuing somebody from the ocean, or you're fixing your motorcycle, or the DMZ van. And so I want you to think on 3 different levels. So we have a problem, and right now we're looking at AI, and people are thinking, oh my God, they're going to take over everything with AI. And so I want to take you on a little creativity tour, right? Because I think it's important. You know, I make music. The Danny Mac blues. You know, I work on Air Force One, and we're designing the advanced air mobility corridor, the SkyWay to Mars. But first, I want you to see some of my friends. Okay, some of the tools that I use. This isn't all of them. I have more at the DMZ studio, but I want to show you. What do I want to show you? I want to show you my friend, the Fender. My friend, my bass. Of course, my creative edge that I see, my Gibson, my 12-string, and my Gretsch. Why do I bring these up? Well, I'm about to show you the why. But first, I need to put on my thinking jacket. And that shouldn't have fallen. I shouldn't have had it that way. I should have thought about it first. So I'm going to put on my thinking jacket. And this time I'm going to put on my motorcycle riding thinking jacket. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm in the creative state now. I want to think. I have a problem. I want to make some music, but I want to think. And I want to think about all the tools that I have for the problem. Now, each of the tools in this room have a different meaning, a different reason. If I pick up my bass and I have a song, well, I kind of want to know, how does it go? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's... So I can lay down a foundation with my bass. But then, what do I want for a background, maybe? And I might pick up my Fender. So then you ask, wait a minute, is it that easy? Well, if it were that easy, everybody would do it. And I'm going to touch on AI for a second, because people are thinking, hey, I can just go to AI and it can do it all. Well, this is where we're having some issues, right? There are people who are going to say, yeah, it's going to do it all. But did you have your thinking hat on? Did you use your bass, or did you use your acoustic, right? Because it's really about your tools, right? And so, why do I have this tool? That is way out of tune. But, you hear that resonation of the sound? Brings another problem. This one probably needs to be tuned. So sometimes when we're thinking, we're going to come into something, maybe a tool that isn't quite right. It isn't tuned. How would we know? How would we know? We would gain experience. We would develop more experience at it, right? So whether it comes to fixing the DMZ van or building Aeronautics, the aircraft, we're going to have levels. We're going to have the problem. We're going to have our think stage, right? I'm going to tell you in the coming episodes of the third stage, but it's not there yet. We're working on that. But I want to talk some more about the tools as I think through the song. What's the song? Now, I told you every day I write a poem. I create a lyrics. I put some words together for my song. Which tool do I need to build on this song? I just broke that. This becomes another problem. And so, having the right tool can sometimes be the determining factor on whether or not you can solve the problem. And it doesn't matter if you're big or tall. It doesn't matter at what level you think. Sometimes it's just about thinking through a problem that somebody may have never even thought of before. And so this becomes the think zone. Are we in between? And it's just not right. Now, all of our tools have connections, and I'll show you some connections later. The connections to amplifiers, the connections to recordings, the connections to computers, AI, maybe some other connections. But you have to think. It's not something that anybody can do. You're exclusive. You're original. It's your creativity. It's the poem you write every morning. It's the tools you decide to use as you're thinking about the problem. And as you get better, and better, at solving problems like this, then it starts fitting into the whole, and we can put it together, and you can figure out what your team is. And then, though you had a problem, you think and you use your superpower to fix it. Then you reach out for the big dog. You reach out for the reward, the pretty one, the medal. You reach out for the black belt. The black belt of them all. And then you're making music. Now you may want to fine tune it with some synthetic computers. You may want to fine tune it with some additional vocals. You may want to fine tune it with some new technology tools. But you know there's a problem. And you put on your jacket to think. Your thinking jacket. And when you have your thinking jacket on, you come together with all of the tools. Now, I may have too many tools. I'll show you some of my tools. And you'll get a tool. When I was young, I'm going to tell you, the first thing I learned in solving the problem was figure out what tool you need. And when you figure out what tool you need, when you think of the tool to solve the problem, then you can become the superhero. Tune in. There's more coming. Looking forward to it. You all be safe this holiday season. Remember, safety is the number one. Always safety first. We'll see you soon.